Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel, people. Welcome back to another video. Make sure you smash a like as you're coming through, and make sure to subscribe if you are new. We're trying to hit 1K subscribers before the Premier League season ends. Obviously, follow at GVO Mikes on all platforms if you want to follow me on social media. But it looks like it's not all rosy at West Ham. Of course it isn't. It never really is. But when you think, okay, there's a few players coming back, we've got a few more attacking options. Graham Potter can finally, have some options that he can deal with. Yeah, that's all come to an end. Not all come to an end, but as soon as Bowen comes back, Summerville has a setback. Crysencio Summerville is going to be out for 2 months, as has been leaked on Twitter, through not through ex-West Ham employee, but apparently ex-West Ham employee has reported that. Out for 8 weeks, 2 months, however you want to look at it, it's not good. It's not good because we're in February. We're past the halfway point of the season. We're quite comfortably into the second half of the season, and we're not going to see Summerville until April. Now, I wish him a speedy recovery, and hopefully he can have a similar one to Bowen, where he's here a month early. But it's always when we have players with pace that don't really fulfill, any sustainable time on the pitch. Now, I would have loved to see. Obviously, the Summerville wing-back thing worked, but it probably wouldn't have been sustainable, as that's how he got the injury. But Guilherme at the wing-back sort of role, helping out Wan-Bissaka, playing a 4-2-3-1/3-4-2-1, and Summerville, Ferguson, Bowen would have been nice to see. We might not have seen that anyway, because Potter's going to play Paquetá and Kudus. Paquetá's back. He was only injured for that game, back in training. Ferguson's in training. And Kudus, even though he's stinking out the place, is probably going to get a bit more game time. But what I do like about Potter is the ruthlessness of the substitutions, at least. But what I do want to see from Potter is bench him. He needs to be benched. He's not doing anything on the pitch. But back to Summerville. It's getting worrying because this guy has had the most unlucky season ever, because he was disliked under Lopetegui. They didn't play under him. Didn't get a chance. I remember in the reverse fixture against Chelsea, he was actually our best player, and he got taken off. He got taken off for Antonio, and then Kudus got put back to the left. That's the kind of shit I had to deal with under the previous manager. And now he's injured. I was trying to look at his injury history. So apparently in the 24-25 season, he's been out for 22 days so far. 23-24 season, he was out for 23 days. He hasn't been injured majorly since the 21-22 season, apparently 69 days and 9 games missed. And even 69 days isn't that much. So as soon as Crysencio Summerville comes back, that's going to be his longest injury ever. And it's fucking typical that it happens at West Ham all the time. All the time that happens at West Ham, where a player gets injured the most at our club. Of course he does. This is probably one of the more exciting players to watch at West Ham. One of the more entertaining players to watch at West Ham. One of the most effective players to watch at West Ham. Just needs a little bit more of end product. He had such a good impact in the game against Aston Villa on Graham Potter's debut. 45 minutes, that's all we got. That's all we got. And then he got injured. Then he suffered a setback. He was meant to come back with Bowen. Just when you think Bowen's back, Paquetá is going to come back. Cool. Say what you want about him, but still an option. Todibo is going to come back, hopefully. You've got Evan Ferguson in. Cool. I wasn't happiest with the whole transfer window situation. Everyone knows my thoughts already. But Summerville could have been an extra option up front. Extra option in the front three. Extra option maybe at wing-back, even though it probably wasn't sustainable to play him there in the first place with the injury that he originally got. We've had a few injuries. We've had a few injuries up front, but we need more dynamism, and he gives us that extra edge, because people like Bowen can't do it on his own. Who else is going to run in behind? There's no one else who's going to run in behind. We need that different sort of dynamic in our team, where we can stretch teams with off-the-ball running. Try to stretch teams out wide. And Summerville gives you that width. However, injured. So, of course, his biggest injury is going to be at West Ham. Never got this major injury at Leeds when he was first breaking through the first team. And by the way, when the 21-22 season, he wasn't even a first-team player. He was playing youth team football. Youth team football. Meanwhile, as soon as he breaks into the first team, he doesn't really get injured that much. 20 days and 30 days is nothing, really. That's like a month, and less than a month. So even this season, for example, like, he only got like 22 days. But let's look at his injury record real quick, yeah. It finally loaded for me. Thigh problems. So apparently it's thigh problems anyway. Apparently his injury was a thigh problem. I would have thought it would have been a groin strain, like it says below for the previous season. Been out for 23 days. An unknown injury for 18 days. And as I said, ankle injury for 69 days. That was in the 21-22 season, in the back end of the 21-22 season, from April to June. April to June. But that was still when he was a youth team player, really. And he was only out for 8 days in the 18-19 season. He was like, what, like 15, 16 then? Something like that. So, when you really look at it, his biggest injury is going to be with us, because I'm pretty sure that because that's 27 days, not including now. So when he comes back in 2 months, that's going to be more than that. It's going to be like 80-something days. And to be honest with you, we've been missing him for the whole season, technically, really, anyway. Because when he has played, he's made an impact. Do I think he's rash up front? Yes. I do think he's rash up front. I do think at times he needs to finish better. But to actually get to the chances in the first place to run at players, he does that the most. He does that the most. When it comes to running on the inside or taking defenders on the outside, he's unpredictable. He's unpredictable. And we're going to lose that unpredictability in our team. And hopefully Bowen, is being trained right, is being treated right, because he just came back from an injury and he played 97 minutes, which is risky in itself. So hopefully the 2-week break can make him, a bit more sharper by the time we get to Brentford. And hopefully we don't have any more attacking injuries. We're quite light at the back as well. When it comes to our centre-back options, only Kilman, really. Mavropanos is useless. And like the 5 at the back, we needed to do in terms of the personnel, but I think once Tadibo comes back, go back to the 4 at the back. I don't want to see the 5 at the back when Tadibo's there. And what I mean is 5 defenders. Because we can play attacking football. Don't play 5 defenders. We needed to at this current moment of time, though, due to the lack of personnel that we have right now. Make sure to like the video, people. Make sure to subscribe if you are new. We're going to be live at 10 with Prime. And follow us on all social medias at GBO Mikes on all platforms. Road to 1K. See you guys tomorrow.